Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is I.S.U.P.K, Fayetteville, North Carolina, Sabbath service. We'll get ready to knock out these prayers. Find walk with down. Means face the east. It's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa. Abashemaya. Wadash. Ayah. Isupk. Yahweh. Malabuka. Laba'ah. Ratazayaka. Ayah. I.S.U.P.K. Barawataza. Ayah. Ashemaya. Thundanawa. The calm. Cow. The one. What's the lock now? Wabati now. That's a lock now. Wabati now. Wala aya now. Wala side one. A ball. Shaya now. Ayan. Ride. Ayah. Lakah. I'm a lock. Wala Allah. Wala par. Wala in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. This is Psalms 1. This is prayer for the power. Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh. The Thundanawa. The Barak. Allah. That's a hard. Matazarian. The Hakwim. Amathaya. Aro Kuwaf. Allah. Lagarashan. Hashem Yahweh. In the English, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. Psalm 121 in Hebrew. Ashah. Ayanya. Slakia. Ahariam. Ayana. Laba'ah. Azariah. Ayam. Yahweh. Ashah. Shamayam. Waratazak. Ayatan. Number what? Galka. Ayanawam. Shamarka. Na'ah. Yanawam. Yashan. More. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Ayah. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Shamash. Lahakayah. Yarak. Layala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Yashamar. Atapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'atka. Ayatah. Ayalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. This is the blessings in Hebrew. Rakatha Yahweh. Yahweh Shai. Walahayim. Matzbaya. Alawak Yahanna. Alawapyam. Asaranyam. Hakpatazayamyam. Hakanalayamyam. Wakwatyan. Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Shai. In the English, Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels. Commander General Yohanna.
Commander Yohanna.
The general. The captain. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damaklah. Al-Takarash. Al-Tashakwat. Al-Slakin. Al-Kayahanna. Al-Wabika. Yahama Yawan. Ra'ash. Al-Amaka. Yara Yamwa. Sawadah. Wayat Slakin. Wayata. Wayatazawa. Al-Tazapamuka. Amara. Akawa. Akakidam. Magawaya. Ala Zakar. Sham Yasha'ala. Iwada. Kaya. Watazak. Laba. Yakadwa. Ayaka. Wayarath. Yaka Yarathwa. Alahaya. Alawam. Wayashemai. Alahaya. Alawaba. Wagaria. Abor. Wamawan. Wamalak. Kalashak. Agishabya. Kazawar. Gab Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Abayalawat. Salah. Aishalaham. Amadyam. Kasasara. Abadyam. Anakar. Washwan. Washamadwa. Bayandara. Hayawa. Naman. Adama. Shayatamwa. Nara. Kai Araba. It's like Wakazaba. Wakatazal. Mana'ai. Kai Nayasamuka. Ashar. Amra. Nayasha. Anawa. Nayawa. Alahaya. Shayatamwa. Magandala. Kakwash. Apayamaka. Kaash. Rabia Ira. Makalaba. The lot. Harayam. Kantar Datma. You call you two out. Basayaka. Babasa. Mapatka. Abalahaya. Wala'a. Panyaham. Walawan. Wayamakwashwa. Shaka. Yahweh. Yabashua. Wayabalawa. Ayai. Wayakapara. Wayadawa. Wayadawa. Wayathan. Shamka. Yahweh. Abanka. Ayawan. Al-Kawarataza.
In the English, keep not thou silence. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still. O
O
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Yahshua may be in no more remembrance. So they have consulted together. One consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. The Baal. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. And the brook of Kison. Which perish at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red. And like Ze'er. Yeah. All the princes. As Sabbath. And Zalmunna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with with shame.
their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy
They
name.
may seek thy name.
Oh, Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled.
And troubled.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to
Let
shame.
them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
Men may know
that thou,
that
whose name alone,
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high,
art the most high
over all the earth.
of all the earth.
So,
Let's see, shot. Let's see. Okay,
the shop, be seated.
Yeah. All this. I think we can.
Read.
That's fine. You right first time.
All about the hundred by Yahweh by Yahshua.
All about the hundred by Yahweh by Yahshua. Yep. What? Go back to. Oh, there you go.
Yahweh by Shem Yahshua by the thumb.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua by the thumb.
By Yahshua.
By Yahshua.
See. So we start off shop around last time.
We left off at Genesis chapter 4, verse 23.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 23. I'm going to read in the Hebrew first. You got the, let me see, find Genesis for me in that biblical show. Slucky. While Mar, Laman, Lana Shah Yawa, I Dama, Slaki, I Da, while I, Slaki, Wa Tazala, Shemai one, while Ya, Nashiya, Lama, Tazana, Amarathia, Kaya, Ayash, Aragathia, Lapa Tazaaya, Waladad, Lakabarathia, Kaya, Shabaithium, Yaquam, Qualawan, Walamada, Shayab, Slaki, Shabaayam, Washabai, Wayadai, Adam, Awad, Ath, Ashatwa, Wathlad, Ban, Wath Korah, Ath, Shamwa, Shath, Kaya, Shath, Shuslak Shita, Laya, Alahayim, Zerai, Akara, Akatha, Abal, Kaya, Aragan, Kwayan, 26. Walashath, Gam, Yalad, Ban, Wakara, Ath, Shamwa, Anashah, Azah, Abakar, Laquara, Basham, Yahweh. 27, where we at? That's it. Where we started?
We started at 23, so we're going
Okay.
verse 3.
The water, brother. So Pa'ar, Dawladath. Slack it. Went back. Dawladath. Shana Wayoladad. Barama Wathwa. Katazalamwa. Wakra Ath. Shamwa. Shath. Wayaha Yawan. Yamya. Adam. Akariah. Hawala Slakin. Hawalaya Dawa. Ath. Shath. Shamana. Ma'ath. Shana. Wal-Waldad, Banayam, Wabanawan, Wayaha Yawan, Cow, Yamaya, Adam, Ashar, Kaya, Tashmai, Slaki, the Shai, Marawath, Shana, Washlashayim, Shana'a, Wayamath, Wayakaya, Shath, Kamash. You said going to verse 6?
No, verse 3.
Oh, that was it. It's like I went too far.
In the English,
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 23. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with the Most High and was not, Slakia, and he was not.
you read 5. Do it the other way. You
Use that book that's right to left when you in 5. You good.
Yeah, just use it. Yeah, that's this one for me.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 23. And Lamelech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamelech. Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and young man, Slakia, and a young man to my hurt. Verse 24, if Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly, Lamech 70 and 70-fold. 25, and Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, for God said, she hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. Verse 26, and to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
So what we're doing is this is the lineage after Cain slew Abel, right? And this is when the birth of Seth comes, and Seth had a son, and it says what? Then men begin to call on the name of the Lord. So why did they have to call on the name of the Lord? Does that make sense what I'm asking? Before, the Lord just spoke to Adam, right? He spoke to everybody that was in Eden, but then he took them from that place. He said, and he put the angels and put a hedge around it so they couldn't come in there no more.
Right.
So now these men, like that came from Seth and Enos, the lineage after Enos, now they start praying to the Lord. They didn't talk directly to him no more. Now they had to pray to him, right, and ask for help. You get what I'm saying? Now this is where praying to the Lord comes in. They didn't have to at first. Okay, let's keep going.
Chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Verse 2, male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. Verse 3, and Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth.
I actually read down to 6 in Hebrew, so keep going to 6.
Verse 4, and the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. Verse 5, and all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Verse 6, and Seth lived 150 years, and begat Enos. Verse 7, and Seth...
Stop, Enos, okay, you stop there. Yeah, but I read past it in Hebrew, so we're going to pick up at verse 7 in Hebrew. I'll stop at 10, and then we'll pick back on track. Verse 7. Wa'akiyah Shath Akaraya Awala Yadan Ath Anawash Shabbai Shana Yawam Washam Naya Amawath Slakia my Awath Wana Wayalada Banayam Wa Banayath Wayath 8 Y.AHANNA, Kal, YAMAYAH, Shath, Shathyam, so it's like Shathayam, Asherah, Shanaah, Walshai, Ma'awath, Shanaah, Wayamath, Wayakayah, Anawash, Pasha'ayam, Shanaah, Waya Walad, Ath, Kwayanan, Wayakayah, Anawash, Akarayah, Awalayadan, Ath, Kwanayah, Kamash, Asherah, Shanaah, Wash, Slakia, Washamanah, Ma'awath, Shanaah, Wayawalad, Banayam, Wabanayath. All right, from 7 to 10.
Verse 7. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Verse 9. And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan. Verse 10. And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 850 years, and begat sons and daughters.
So verse 11. Wayahayah, Kal, Yamayah, Anawash, Kamash, Shanayam, Washai, Ma'awath, Shanaah, Wayamath, Wayakayah, Kwayana, Kwanayon, Slaki, Wabayayam, Shaka'ah, Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Ath, Ma'alala'al, 13, Wayakayah, Wayanawan, Akayah, Slaki, Akrayah, Alawada, Ath, Ma'alala'al, Arabayam, Shana'ah, Washamda, Mayawath, Shana'ah, Wayawaladad, Banayam, Wabanawath. We have 14. 6, yeah, that was 14. Oh, 14. We finish it out. Wayaya, Kal, Yamaya, Wayana, Aishar, Shanayam, Washa'ai, Ma'awath, Shana'ah, Wayamath. All right. Going 17? What kind? It's 15. Wayakaya, Ma'alala'al, Kamash, Shanawam, Washayam, Shana'ah, Wayawald, Waliwalad, Ath, Yarad, Wayakaya, Ma'alala'al, Akraya, Awalad, Awaladian, Ath, Yarada, Shalashim, Wana'ah, Washmana'ah, Ma'awath, Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Banayam, Wabanayath, 17, Wayahayam, Kal, Maya, Ma'alala'ah, Kamash, Dathashayam, Shana'ah, Wash Manah, Wath, Shana'ah, Wayamath. All right.
Verse 11. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. Verse 12. And Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. Verse 13. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years.
All right, let's stop and reflect one moment. So, what's the running theme that we seeing right here when we talking about this lineage of people that they live 800 years up, 800 years, 900 years? Think about what this is doing in the earth, right? This is just imagine the knowledge or wisdom that is being passed, or the things that you learning as a human being, and you're able to learn this thing and stay on the earth 900 years. You understand what I'm saying? So imagine what the Lord is doing with these people. He's propelling knowledge he's propelling knowledge. The only way that you can jumpstart humanity or jumpstart this thing is that you have to have people that hang around a little longer so they can teach it, right? But however, we die, 70, 80?
Right, that's right.
Now, you understand what I'm saying? So
That's right.
at this time, this is where, knowledge and the things that you are learning, you're learning, and it's staying in the earth. And you'll see what it's going to say about what, these people. And this is where Christianity start going off.
Right.
All right, keep going.
And begat sons and daughters. Verse 14. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Verse 15. And Mahalalel lived 65 years and begat Jared. Verse 16. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 840 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 17. And all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died.
All right. Verse 18. Wayakaya, Yarad, Shamayam, it's like it. Shatayam. Oh, verse 18. Oh, I'll skip my place. Okay. Washashayam, Shana'ah, Wama'ath, Washana, it's like it. Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Ath, Wanawan, 19. Wayakaya, Yarada, Akaraya, Awala, Yada, Ath, Kalawad, Shanawa, Mayath, Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Banayam, Babanawath, 20. Wayanawan, Kal, Yamaya, Yarada, Shatayam, Shayam, Shana'ah, Wath, Wath Sha'ai, Ma'awath, Shana'ah, Wayamath, 21. Wayakaya, Kanayad, Kamash, Yeshashayam, Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Ad, Wathayashlaka, 2. Wayath Kalad, Kanayad, Ath, Alahayam, Akaraya, Awalad, Yadal, Ath, Mash, Washlaka, Shalasha, Ma'awath, Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Banayam, Wabanawath, Wayaya, Kal, Yamia, Kanawat, Kamash, Yashashayam, Shana'ah, Yashalash, Ma'ayath, Shana'ah, 24. Wayath Kalad, Kanayad, Ath, Alahayam, Wayan Nana, Kal, it's like Kaya, Naquak, Athwa, Alahayam. Let's stop at 24. Yeah.
Verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. Verse 19. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 20. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Verse 21. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. Verse 22. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 23, and all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
All right. It's 25. Wayakaya. Mashawathaka. Shabbai. Washamnaya. Shana'a. Wama'ath. Wana'a. Waywalad. Ath. Lamad. 26. Wayakaya. What's like it? Math Washlaka. Akraya. Awala Yalad. Ath. Lamad. Slaki. Sutayim. Washwanya. Shana'a. Washabai. Myawath. Wana'a. Wayalalad. Manayam. Wamanayath. Wayaya. Cow. Yamaya. Slaki. Matawashlak. Tasha'ai. Washashayam. Shana'a. Tashai. Ma'awath. Wana'a. Wayamath. 28. Wayakya. Lamad. Shatayam. Washamayana. Shana'a. Wama'ath. Wana'a. Wayalalad. Khan. Ban. 29. Wayakra'ah. Ath. Shemwa. Nak. Nakah. Lamara. Sa'ah. Yakamana. Yaka. Manawa. Mama Shanwa. Mama Ibawan. Ban. Adama. Ashar. Ara'ah. Yahweh. Sturdy. Wayakaya. Lamad. Akaraya. Awalayalad. Ath. Khan. Slaki. Nak. Kamash. Wathshayam. Shana'ah. Wakamash. Ma'ath. Wana'ah. Walahayla. Slaki. Barayam. Banawath. 31. Wayahaya, Kal, Yamayah, Lamad, Shabai, Washba'ayam, Shana'ah, Washabai, Ma'awath, Wana'ah, Wayamath. Verse 32 is the last one. 31. Okay, verse 32. Waya'aya, Slakia. Yeah, Waya'aya. Nak, Ban, Kamash, Ma'awath, Shana'ah, Wayawalad, Nak, Ath, Sham, Ath, Kam, Wa'ath, Yapath. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And Methuselah lived 180 years and begat Lamech, Salakia. Verse 26. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 27. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Verse 28. And Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son, and he called his name Noah. This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord has cursed. Verse 30. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 31. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. Verse 32. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Okay, so I know brothers and sisters, if you listening, but they running the lineage because it's getting all the way down to Noah. And so really, this is a record of a people, right? And then it's not a coincidence that when Matthew 1:1, it runs down what? Christ's lineage the same way.
Right.
So it means something. Like, I know how Christianity try to make it seem like we all God's people, and that's a lie.
Right.
Right? If we was all God's people, why would they keep close account of who was born and all that?
Right.
Just like when your grandma, and then this was heavy, you forget, you grow up that your grandma, when you was born, your grandma got a book, got everybody damn name in the Bible.
That's right. On the tree.
Right. Everybody that's born, she run the names down because that's our people. This is what we do.
That's right.
You get born into a family, brother. It means something.
That's
you
right.
ain't just born for nothing. So it ran down all the way to Noah, and it talks about who he is the progenitor of, right? Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
That's right.
Right? Hamites are so-called Africans, right?
Right.
Then you got Japheth, and then you got Shem. That's who we are. We descendants of Shem, right?
That's right.
That's why when the so-called fake Jew, the oppressor, the real oppressor in the earth, right? The devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
When he say that we talk against him, we anti-Semitic. So what is he really trying to say? We Semitic people. What the hell he talking about? How we gonna be anti-us?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So what he really trying to tell what he trying to get us to believe is that we're Hamitic people. For him to say that out his mouth, that means what? We are Hamitic.
Right.
See, we don't know what we up against, but guess what? When we in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, we learn about who we are.
That's
and
right.
nobody can fool you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm about to bring up the next brother.
Just up here. Qadam, Bayahawda, Bayashawda.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat
Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Go to it.
Vayashal.
Vayashal.
Oh, yeah, this is 6 and 1.
You can't. You read all that? We good. We can see it. Yeah.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. Wayahaya, Kaya, Hakal, Ha-Adam, Larab, Al, Panya, Ha'arama, Waba, Nawa, Yaladawa, Lahum. Verse 2. Waya Ra'awa, Banya, Ha'alahayim, At, Banarat, Ha'adam, Kaya, Tabat, Hana.
The other way. Yeah.
Right.
That way. You see it?
What is it, verse?
It should be in verse 2.
Oh, okay, count. Okay, no sweat. All right, what's on correct? Waya kwa kawa laham nasayam makal ashar baha baka rawa. Verse 3. Waya amar Yahweh la'a yadawak rawa kaya Ba'aram, Ba'aram, La'ilam, Basha Gum, Hawa'a, Bashar, Wahayawa, Yamayawa, Ma'a, Wa'ai Sharayum, Shanya, Shana, verse 4. Hana Palayim, Hayawa, Ba'arataza, Bayamayim, Hahum, Wagum, Akarayim, Kaya, Khan, Ashar, Yaba'awa, Banya, Ha'alahayim, Al, Banawat, Ha'adam, Waya Ladawa, Lahum, Hama, Hagabarayim, Ashar, Ma'aiwalam, Anshar, Anshaya, Hashem, verse 5. Waya Ra'ah, Yahweh, Kaya, Rabah, Ra'ait, Ha'arad, Ba'arataza, Wakal, Ya'ai, Yatazar, Makashabat, Labawa, Rakah, Ra'ai, Kal, Hayawam, verse 6. Waya Nakam, Yahweh, Kaya, Aisha, At Ha'aradum, it's like a Ha'arada. So Ha'arad, it's like it. Ba'arataza, Waya Ta I Tazab, Al Labawa. Verse, that's it. Verse 7. Verse 7, come, it's like it. Verse 7. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Makah, At Ha'aradum, it's like a Ha'arad, Ashar, Bara'ai, Tawa, I'm going to say Taya, Ma'al, Panya, Ha'arama, Ma'aram, Aid, Bahama, Aid, Ramash, Wa'id, Iwap, Hashemayim, Kaya, Naka Mataya, Kaya, Aisha, Yatham, and that's the end of verse 7. So in the English, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that this verse 2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Okay, so check. So can anybody catch what was said in verse 2? It says, and the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. What's being said right here?
So I can basically say that Israelites, which were the sons of God,
They're not Israelites yet, but I get what you're saying.
they looked upon the heathen women and saw that they looked good or whatnot, and they wanted to have them possess.
So this is the concept that's constantly being fighted in the earth, right? With
Right.
Christianity, that we supposed to be separate, right? So it's right now signifying that what we or the people that we are descended from, they start messing with the other nations.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
Come. Verse 3. And the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
So the Lord said, the days of you living 800, 900 years is over.
Right.
Y'all starting to deal with these heathens, right? Y'all dealing with heathens now, right? Y'all dealing with the people that I told you not to deal with, that you're supposed to be separate from. I'm not. He said, what? I'm not always going to strive with you.
That's right.
So just imagine you was 800, 900 years old because the Lord had he looked at you like you was somebody worthy to live that long, right? But however, you start messing with them nations,
Right.
now I got to cut your life short.
That's right.
Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 4. There were giants in the earth.
There were what?
Giants in the earth.
Is it talking about literal big ass James and the Giant Peach? It ain't talking about no giant like that. It's saying that now because they come now we are people that were once separated. We got knowledge from men that live 800, 900 years. Now we intermingling with these heathens. Now what? Now all the knowledge that we have, all the knowledge that we have obtained, we giants on earth. Right? Men are giants now.
That's right. It was a heavy. It's heavy you bring it out because I remember being a kid and it's ridiculous. You know, every denomination believes that this is literal fee fi fo fum giant.
Right.
And I seen a picture in a magazine, in a little pamphlet, and it, little fake. What do you call those architect? What do you call it when they dust off the rocks and find the?
Right.
They're gonna find some big giant archaeologist, the water brother. There's some giant skull the size of this desk, and like, how the hell can something 20 feet tall have sex with a human? Just think about that.
Right.
Like, how it don't make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even as a kid, I'm thinking like, hold on, I know what a genitalia is.
Right.
I know how big this huge giant, or what they want to call a giant, 30-foot tall as a building. I mean, how the hell is that going to have sex with a woman? It doesn't make any sense biologically. It's just ridiculous all around. So you have to know that this giant is not talking about, like you see in the cartoons or Attack on Teen Titan or whatever it's called.
Right.
This ain't that type of giant.
Right. And brothers got Do you know an example of a giant on earth?
It's like you said, like Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin,
That's right.
right? But it's also men with power,
That's right.
right?
Mhm.
Men like Vladimir Putin.
That's right.
That's a giant. He decides if men live or die.
Or the software giant Bill Gates.
Or software, right? He can shut the whole entire earth down if he wants to,
Right.
but he chooses not to, right? There's giants on earth, brother. We just
right.
the way we taught is in some Christianity garbage, and it's polluted our mind.
The New York Giants.
Right. It has polluted our mind, and the ideas of things are so drawn off, because that's why when you go to war with a Christian, you go to a battle, they always flip flopping. What they want is spiritual, and it's always it's almost like you can never really get them to see in logic, take the sanity off of everything. But it's hard to do it because they're able to flip flop whenever they talk. We stick it in a straight line so that it makes sense. Okay, keep going.
Come on. It says they were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were old men of renown.
There we go. It just explained you what a giant was, right? The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Renowned men. It's men that are renowned all through this earth. But we wouldn't equate them to being a giant because of Christianity. You thinking of damn Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, brother.
Verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Good night. So the whole reason the Lord don't want you to deal with the other nations is what? They have evil, they do evil things. Just imagine what Esau do in the earth. Me and Officer Kowal were talking about this on the way down, right down to this school. Esau can bond together in doing evil. But if it's something doing good for people, like helping the poor, or helping give health care to everybody so that nobody has a debt over their head, they at odds against that.
Right.
But they can bond together doing evil. If it come to a mass murder or putting children in cages, they all on one accord. They don't even speak about it.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So guess what? When we do this, when we intermingle with these people, this is what the Lord said. That He saw that in our imaginations, when messing with these people, all we thought about is evil continually.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 6. And it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
So when it said the Lord repented, it repented him. What is he saying? He regretted that he made man. He didn't repent like he praying or something. He regretted, right? Just like you, when you repent, however, you repenting to the Lord about something that you did.
Right.
The Lord has second thoughts about creating man. Like, oh, heck, look at this. Right. Look at this foolishness, right?
Right.
It made him upset that this is what it came to. Right. The whole time he tried to put people of the men and women that came from Adam, keep them away from everybody, and they went ahead and intermingled anyway.
Right.
Keep going, brother.
So Lucky, if I may,
Which
is so heavy. If you Christianity, like you said, is such a fairy tale, man. But if you see right here, the Most High was mad because we was conjoining with the sons of men. So that tells you that we are a separate people. We ain't even supposed to be with these other nations, man. So that tells you that the Most High has a preferred people right here in Genesis, man.
And Salaki, what you saying so heavy, it's at all times.
Right.
And that's what Christianity can't get over.
That's right.
At all times, the Lord chooses a people, right? It was first Adam, and then Abraham, Isaac, then Jacob, right? And then now it's still like that. The Lord don't want to give it. It's people that are flawed, man. You think he don't know that? Right. He created all these people, and he himself can't recognize the flaw in the people.
Right.
That if I give them this, if I give them, this favor, what they gonna do in the earth? right? This is right here what he's saying right here.
That's right.
This is an example of it.
That's right. And which, it's heavy too. Christians love to say, my God don't change. Not my Jesus, not my God. Not, they think Jesus and God are the same person. Well, if that's the case, you open these record books. If he was pissed off and grieved then, if he don't change, he means he's grieved now with these movements, all this LGBTQ, all this garbage. If you know he was grieved then and what he's about to do to this earth, you should take heed to that and understand that if your God don't change, then if he was upset with it then, he's upset with it now. Ain't no difference. Go ahead, brother.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 7. And the Most High said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them.
So the Lord already, came up with the strategy of how he gonna go ahead and cleanse the earth of all this foolishness, right? Right, and then and then here we go again. Here's the choosing part again that nobody wants to deal with.
Right.
They'll tell you about the flood and they'll tell you about Noah, but they'll disregard the fact that the Lord chose this one man, right? To be preserved or to be saved means what? He chose you.
Right.
If he saved you from utter destruction, that means what? He chose you. You understand? That's what the Christianity always try to avoid. Oh, we all come from Adam, Noah and the flood. But they like diminishing the fact that it was this one individual that the Lord chose over everybody.
That's right.
So like it makes it so heavy because it's like the Most High has a favorite bird, he got a favorite scent. You know what I'm saying? He has favorite things. So why is it so hard for somebody to believe he got a favorite person?
Right.
Because they put rules on the Most High. Christianity put rules on the Most High because technically, in Christianity, your God is Esau.
Right.
Esau is confound. He's confound to the rules that the Lord said in this place. However, the Most High God that we deal with, he can kill everybody with a snap of a finger, whatever you want to do.
Right.
And that's what they don't want to deal with, right? That you got to please, the Most High power that you can't see.
Right.
However, you can see Esau every day, make Esau happy.
Right. Like Big Mama say,
Right.
My God can move mountains. Your God can't pick up people either. He can't choose a certain people. He can move mountains and Big Mama on her last breath, both legs cut off, all limbs gone because she got diabetes, eating pork our whole life. You want God to turn that around, but he can't pick a certain people that he wants. They put limitations on the Most High when it benefits them. You understand? It's wicked, disgusting, man. But go ahead, brother.
So like if I may, just like what you said too, it goes to what it is they want out of it.
Right.
We can come up with restrictions to the Most High all day until it's time to smoke weed. Right. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time to celebrate Christmas, until it's time to snatch that baby out of your stomach with that plunger.
Right. That's
right.
Yeah.
The Lord he can't pick that.
He can't pick that. Yeah.
He love everybody until you want to do what you want to do. Keep going, bro.
Good night. Was that in the last one? Okay, go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wanak, Matazai, Han, Ba'ayanaya, Yahweh. Verse 9. Allah, Tawaladat, Nak, Ayash, Tazadayak, Hamayam, Haya, Badara, Ta Yawa.
Verse 9. Okay.
Badara Ta Yawa, At Ha'alahayam, Hatahalak, Nak. Verse 10. Wayawalad, Nak, Shalasha, Bunyam, At, Shum, At, Kum, Wa'at, Yapat. Verse 11. Wata Shakat, Arataza, Lapanya, Ha'alahayim, Wahamala'a, Ha'arataza, Kamas. Verse 12. Waya Ra'ah Alahayim Ath Ha'arataza Wahana Nashak Ta Kaya Hashakayat Kal Bashar Ath Darak Kaya Salakawa Al Ha'arataza. Verse 13. Waya Amar Alaham Lanak Quataza Kal Bashar Ba'a Lapanya Kaya Mala'a Ha'arataza Tamasa no Kamas
Which one?
Mapan Yaham Wahan
Oh yeah.
Naya Mashak Yatum At Ha'arataza. Verse 14. Aisha Laka Tabat Atazaya Gapar Quanayum the Aisha Salaki At Hataba Wakaparat Atan Salaki Ata Mabayat Wamaka Wataza Ba Kapar. Verse 15. Oh, we'll keep going.
Good job, brother.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 7 or 8. Salaki. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. Verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and a perfect.
He was what?
A just man and perfect.
And he was what?
And perfect.
He was perfect. See, that's the other thing like we don't really deal with, right?
That's right.
That it's a man that is capable of being perfect.
That's right.
Christianity like to tell you, can't nobody be perfect. You can't keep them all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna sin, brother. They saying all that because what? They know that they can't do it.
Right.
Right. It's almost like somebody that want to see you fail. Mm-hmm. So they you met people like that in the earth?
That's right.
Right. Anything that you pursued to do, it could have been your family member.
Right.
And they say, oh man, you can't do that. Right. But this is a spiritual thing we talking about here. Right. So Noah was perfect. That's why the Lord chose him over everybody. That's why he preserved Noah. Right. And his seed that came after, because he was perfect. He pleased the Most High Power. I don't know about you. I know for a fact that walking in the earth before I came in the I.S.U.P.K, I know I wasn't pleasing the Lord. Right? I knew I wasn't pleasing the Lord, and I deserve. And now that I'm sitting in here, I know that I deserve every little bad thing that ever happened to me.
That's right.
Right? Because guess what? It's always a cause and effect to everything. You ain't pleasing the Lord. Guess what? He gonna deal with you.
Right.
Right? You wonder why you got death all around you all the time. Guess what? You're not pleasing the Lord. Right? Keep going, brother.
And his generations, and Noah walked with the Most High. Verse 10. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Verse 11. The earth was also corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence.
So this is the disgusting part to the Lord, right? They were supposed to be holy. They were supposed to be holy, separate. They start intermingling, and then you get giants on earth. What they gonna get you to do? Go to war. A lot of violence, right? That's the thing that the Lord started observing about. When you start intermingling with people you shouldn't be doing. That's what they do. They all after power, control over another person, right? And they create violence. That's what the heathen does. Keep going.
Verse 12. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
Good night. Keep going.
Verse 13. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
So the Lord told Noah, I'm about to destroy this place.
That's right.
Right? And this is the thing that Christians fail to realize right here. This one perfect man, the Lord gave him a heads up. Like, yeah, this thing is over, right? And everybody thought he was crazy, right? Keep going.
Verse 14. Make thee an ark of gopher wood.
So now the Lord told him, this place is over. Better make you an ark, right? And so guess what? The Lord didn't just preserve him; he didn't just pick him up. He had to actually put in work now.
That's right.
So I told you what I'm about to do. So I give you a heads up now. Do what you're gonna do with it. And this brother, what he did, he built the ark, brother.
That's right.
Keep going.
Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch.
Good night. So this is the beginning of how Noah started making the ark. He's gonna go through it, but we'll get to that next week.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Amajim.
Just a bit.
Right.
I.S.U.P.K. Walk it down. We'll do the face these. We'll face do the prayers.
It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Bashemaya. Dash. Ayah. Isupk. Yahweh. Laba'ah. Zayaka. Ayah. I.S.U.P.K. Ayah. Lakia. Bashemaya. Thundernawa. Cow. Masalaknawa. Mabatinawa. Masalaknawa. Mabatinawa. Ayanawa. Manasai one. Wall. Shayanawa. Mayan. Ayah. Malakwa. Allah. Aman.
In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power. Yahweh. Bashim Yahushua. Thundernawa.
In the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Ashad. Yanya. Aharayam. Ayan. Yaba'ah. Azariah. Ayam. Yahweh. Ashad. Lakia. Shamayam. Baratazah. Ayathan. Amawat. Galka. Ayanawam. Marka. Yanawam. I.S.U.P.K. Shawamar. Yahweh. Marka. Yahweh. Zalka. Ayah. Yanka. Amawam. Shamas. Akayah. Yarak. Yahweh. Shamarka. Akarai. Shamar, Atapashka, Yahweh, Shamar, Afka,
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
Whence cometh my help?
Whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee,
He that keepeth
will not
thee
slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he that keepeth
Yahshua
Yahshua
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
Prayer for blessing. Rakatha Yahweh.
Rakatha Yahweh.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Maka'ala.
Maka'ala.
Alhamya.
Alhamya.
Atas Bayah.
Atas
Yohanna.
Awapia.
Awapia.
Asaranya.
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 Yamya.
Yamya.
Wahakwafia.
Wahawapia.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shim Yahweh Shah.
Hashem Yahshua.
The one Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Mike.
And Mike.
And the end.
And the end.
Commander General Yahweh.
Commander General Yahweh.
General.
General.
The captain.
The captain.
The officer.
The officer.
The trooper.
The trooper.
And the sister.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you so be it.
Thank you so be it.
In the English, keep not thou those Salaki. Keep not thou silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make the tumult.
thy enemies make the tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off.
let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
In the name of Yahshua.
In the name of Yahshua.
Make ye no more remembrance.
Make ye no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
They have consulted
With
together.
one consent.
With one consent.
They have confederate against
They
thee.
have confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Israelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Of Baal.
Of Baal.
And Ammon.
And
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
The sword also is joined with them.
The sword also
They have hope in the children of
They have
God.
hope in the children of God.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Perish and endure.
Perish and endure.
They became
They became
young for the earth.
young for the earth.
Make their nobles.
Make their
Like
nobles.
a red.
Like a red.
Like Zahel.
Like Zahel.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
And Sabbath.
And Sabbath.
And Salmunna.
And Salmunna.
Who said.
Who said.
Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to
the house
ourselves
of Yahweh.
the house of
The house of Yahweh.
the house of
In
your house
possession.
in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burns the
And
wood.
as the flame setteth the mountains on
As
fire.
the face and the mountains on fire.
So persecute
So
them.
persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy sword.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy
That
name.
they can seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be
And
confounded.
troubled forever.
And troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That they may know
That thou.
that thou,
Whose name alone.
whose name alone
Yahweh.
is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
We're going to prepare to salute the Torah. Gird up thyself, Salah. Prepare thyself to salute the Torah. How about Shimmy al-Shak Yah? How about Shimmy al-Shak Yah?
How about Shimmy al-Shak Yah?
How about Shimmy al-Shak Yah? Yeah. How about sitting out shop? Yeah.
Y'all about to sing out of shop, yeah.
Israel, we're gonna give one person to teach Israel about I.S.U.P.K. Body, rock,
Y'all about to sing out of shop, yeah.
How about Shimmy al-Shak thumb?
time. Usually you can get this thing.